post comments.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'll mute. I'll be right back right before we start at 6.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. We're just playing the finishing up the top 15 Greek music countdown.
Okay.
This is number 1, by the way, if you were curious.
That's pretty awesome. I just watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding this week. That's so awesome.
New to Market Basket is the Market's Cafe. The cafe offers refreshments such as coffees, teas, lattes, smoothies, freshly squeezed orange juice, as well as bagels, muffins, and donuts from the bakery. It's a great place to sit down and get some work done, complete with comfortable seating and free Wi-Fi. A welcoming, cozy environment found at your local neighborhood Market Basket. Come visit us at Market's Cafe, the newest Market Basket. More for your dollar.
Music from France. Music from France. Music you recommend. With Brian Thomas. Music from France. Music from France. WNTN. 5050 AM. Music from France.
Hey, and welcome back to Music from Friends on WNTN 1550 AM. This is the show that's all about helping indie artists get recognized for their awesome music. I'm Brian Thomason. Make sure you follow the show on Instagram at Music from Friends, and you can join us on patreon.com. That's patreon.com/Music from Friends. Here is the first song from our tonight's guest, and it is called Number One Girl.
Every time you're MIA, I know in the morning you're gonna call me and I know what you'll say. And I won't believe it cause I know you don't mean it, boy, hate it when you say, baby, you're my whole world, you're my number one girl. Shouldn't have to tell you that, so baby, why are you so mad? Baby, you're my whole world, you're my number one girl, but you always put me last. You think I don't notice that? But you're number one girl. You should probably go our separate ways, cause I ain't down for second place, and I don't wanna be in the running. I know what I deserve, no, I'll probably get hurt, so you best be getting out of my face. You ain't gonna like what's coming. I know in the morning you're gonna call me and I know what you'll say. And I won't believe it cause I know you don't mean it, boy, hate it when we say, baby, you're my whole world, you're my number one girl. Shouldn't have to tell you that, so baby, why are you so mad? Baby, you're my whole world, you're my number one girl, but you always put me last. You think I don't notice that? Number number one girl. Cause you always put me last. You think I don't notice that? Ain't you number one girl? Ain't you number one girl? You think I don't notice that? I know what I deserve. I know what I know I'll probably get hurt. I know what I deserve. I know what I deserve. I know I'll probably get hurt. Baby, you're my whole world. You're my number one girl. I shouldn't have to tell you that. So baby, why are you so mad? You're my whole world. You're my number one girl. But you always put me last. You think I don't notice that? Number one girl. Ain't you number one girl? Cause you always put me last. You think I don't notice that? Number one girl. Ain't you number one girl? You think I don't notice that? I know in the morning you're gonna call me and I know what you'll say. And I won't believe it cause I know you don't mean it, boy, hate it when you say.
All right, tonight's guest is a well-established and award-winning pop artist based in Toronto. The daughter of a very successful singer, songwriter, and producer in Windsor, Canada, music has been a part of her life really from the start, but at least from the age of 4. In her professional career, it seems like everything she puts out there has notable success. In 2016, her EP titled Alive Today, which was released under her real name, Christy Palazzolo, had 2 singles that charted really well in the Canadian indie music scene in just a few weeks after their release. She continued that success with a name change and a new location with a number of fantastic singles. Hard in My Heart, Love Me in the Dark, Wrong to Say Goodbye, and What Have You Done to Me have appeared on several big Spotify playlists, played on Canadian morning shows, used as sync for the show Temptation Island, and opened the door for lots of big live performances. In 2019, she won the Indie Award at the Jim Beam National Talent Search. And finally, you just heard her newest single, Number One Girl, which has inspired some really powerful and emotional videos from fans on her YouTube channel, which has a ton of content as well. I know I left a lot out, but it's a pleasure to welcome to the show, Christy Pellis. Hey.
Hello. What a great intro.
Thank you. Well, I got to get to the most important question first that everyone wants to know. Why do you drink water?
Oh goodness. Should we? I'll go down the list here. Let me write some stuff out. I'll let you know. Oh my gosh. I can't.
Your fans will understand that question. But it's a good segue to talk about you. Everybody needs to go to your YouTube channel. You have so much good content there, not just music videos, but a lot of really great personal videos, which we'll get to in a second. So
thank you.
Let's start at the beginning. Is it really age 4? Is that really when you started music?
Honestly, it was probably earlier than that, but I was just being, I gave myself a couple years. No, yeah. Honestly, I grew up in a super musical family, and my dad, since as long as I can remember, I've been singing, and he's brought, my siblings and I to his recording studio in Windsor, and I just really have been doing it forever. So it was probably earlier than that, but around 4.
Do you remember what was the earliest memory you have of doing something like musical?
Well, there's a few of them, but I would say one of them was probably in the basement of the house that I grew up in. Before we renovated it and it was finished and stuff, we had the cement floors, and my dad used to set up amps and speakers down there with microphones, and he would have us sing. I think there's actually a home video of me when I was 3 holding a microphone and singing into it. It was complete nonsense, but nonetheless, it was still somewhat singing. And that's the earliest memory I have. And there's so many others afterwards, but it was probably before that too. I don't know.
Okay. When did you start playing instruments? And I think you started with the piano. Is that right?
Yeah, piano was my first instrument, probably around the same time that I started singing, maybe a little bit after, but I would say around 4 my dad started us, with our little finger exercises and all of that stuff. But yeah, that's been my main instrument my whole life, and the very first one that I got started on. So
Wow.
yeah.
And then how quickly after that did you go into guitar and any other instruments after that?
Yeah, so I can only play guitar. Guitar and piano, those are my two. I've tried others. I don't know. Not my thing. But yeah, I mean, for me, I played piano probably, I've been playing piano my whole life. And then I think it was in high school, like maybe grade 9, where I picked up a guitar for the first time. Like my dad is like a shredder, like he's crazy on guitar, and I used to watch him all the time and be like, man, like now mind you I still can't shred, but I will never be on his level. But I picked up an acoustic when I was in grade 9, I think, without his help. At the time I remember talking to him about my interest in it, and he would say to me, I think you should, really polish up your piano chops first and then worry about tackling another instrument after. But I was like, no, like there was just something about the acoustic guitar that looked so cool when people would accompany themselves. And I was kind of drawn to it. And I also loved Avril Lavigne, so she was, the influence there too. And yeah, I don't know. I picked it up in grade 9, and I really haven't put it down since. I kind of was self-taught initially, and then my dad showed me some things, and kind of went from there. So
okay, so your dad keeps popping up. So his name is Pete Palazzolo, and he is pretty well known in your hometown, Windsor. Tell us a little bit about what he does. I said that he was a singer-songwriter, producer. Did I leave something out with that as well?
My dad's I don't know. I'm not even to brag. He's everything. I don't even understand. I can't keep track anymore. But in Windsor, my family is super well known for music. Like if you say the last name Palazzolo, everybody knows that we're involved in music in some capacity. And my dad, he's owned a music conservatory here for music lessons and recording and all of that stuff. So that's been around for as long as I've been alive, basically. So I've been, I got started there when I was, like I said, 3, recording and doing all that kind of stuff. So he's had that forever. And my dad produces and writes and sings. He does everything you could think of, really. So yeah, he was definitely the biggest influence I had, for sure.
Yeah, you said that he's everything. And I mean, really a lot of emotional support for you as well, that you tell a story on YouTube, one of your videos, I'm trying to think about which one it is, how you remember very early on, you were playing a performance somewhere and kind of ran off the stage and hugged him afterwards. I think I have that story right. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
What event was that? And I think that it's just a great example of how important he really is in your life.
Yeah, especially with music, for sure. Yeah, that specific experience was, I believe that was in 2013, probably one of the biggest performances I had done at that age. And it was sort of the turning point for me, where I realized that I wanted to actually do this as a career and not just, a dream. And it was the International Children's Games. They came to Windsor. They were hosted here at the WFCU Center. Okay. And there was probably, oh gosh, I don't know how many different countries were there for the games, but there were so many. So I think there was a direct audience of 8,000 people there, and it was televised in like 40 countries, and it was huge. It was a very huge event. And I actually sang with another Canadian artist, Susie McNeil, and I sang with her, which was really cool. And yeah, it was this huge thing. And so my dad actually wrote the theme song for the children's games, and they needed a singer. And, of course I was so scared at the time, but he asked me, but he also kind of told me that I had to do it. He was like, do you want to do this? And I was like, no. And he's like, okay, well, you have to. So that's what happened. But no, it honestly, at that point I had just been, assuming that music was going to be just on the side, because that's what everybody in my family did. And that's sort of what I was taught as well, not from my family, but just society, I think, in general. And after that whole experience, yeah, I sang in front of all those people, and I ran off stage and I like cried into my dad's arms. And, we had a chat shortly after that. I think it was a couple days later, where I said, Dad, like, I think I think I want to do this. Like once you experience that feeling, like that's it. You're done. You're done for. It's
Right.
over.
Right.
So that's what happened.
And he probably knew it right away, like when that happened, that now you're in it. Now you're hooked in the business.
And I think the thing is, my dad, like, yeah, he's had all the experience in the world with performing. I think he gets it. He knows the feeling, and I think for him, yeah, like after I experienced that, and I told him this is what I wanted to do. The best thing though was that he was so supportive of it. He did say I had to finish school, which I think was fair. But I finished school, I got my degree, and then I went off and I did it. So
Wow.
yeah,
That's great. Does
Yeah.
he help produce your music now? Does he have any kind of hand in that, or did you want to keep it kind of out of the family and go somewhere else?
you know what? So when I was in Windsor, he did pretty much everything for me. I experimented with other producers after him, of course, but my initial like recording endeavors were with him. And yeah, to be honest, when I moved to Toronto, I was kind of excited. Not that I wanted him to, be disconnected from my music career, but I was excited to branch out and work with other people, because really all the experience I had was working with him and what I
Right.
knew from Windsor. And so I was very excited for that. And funnily enough, he didn't do much with any of my tracks except for Number One Girl. So this
Right.
song we produced together, which was amazing, and that hasn't happened in years and years. So
Why did that happen? Why did you decide come along on this one, or did he suggest it? How does that? You go from so long with having him not involved, and now all of a sudden, okay, have this new single.
yeah, you know what? And again, like I don't know that I was opposed to it before. I think I was excited to branch out, but I really think that in Canada, especially the pandemic and the whole quarantine thing, it was super harsh for artists, and I didn't really have the opportunity to be producing and recording quite as much as I was, and I came home a few times to Windsor, and it felt right. It just felt like the right time. So it's not like I didn't want to do it, but it just kind of happened that way. And I brought this song to him, and it started out as like a jam, where he was like, okay, we just, let's show me something new that you wrote. And so I did. I showed him a new song that I wrote, and then he's like, wow, this is really cool. And, so he picked up his guitar, and like he started that famous little guitar line that you hear in the beginning. And it kind of just fell into place after that. So it was just perfect. Yeah. Right place, right time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to talk more about that song in a second, but I
Sure.
can't forget to mention you had a wedding band.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. What was
Well,
Did you guys have a name, or was it just like Christy sings at weddings?
No. Yeah. So I'll clarify first off. It wasn't my band. I was in the band, but
right.
yeah, it's not really clear. I don't talk about it very much, but for anyone that wants to know my experience, I always talk about how I sang in a wedding band for about 8 or 9 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
A very long time, yeah. Very, very long time. And there was a band here in Windsor, and actually the two main guys in the band were taking lessons from my dad for like years.
Okay.
And so it's funny how it's all connected,
Uh-huh.
And they were looking for a lead singer. So I joined the band. I was 18 at the time when I joined. And yeah, it was the best experience of my life, because I learned so much, just performing wise, and how to entertain people. And we went all over the place, all over Windsor, and we even went across the border to Michigan.
Okay.
And I was all over the place, and I did that for years and years and years. So I'm certainly the performer that I am now because of that. Really forces you into different situations,
Right.
And you have to think on your feet and improvise. So yeah, it was great.
And such an interesting audience, I can imagine, from a typical
Sometimes,
concert,
yes.
right?
Yes, sometimes, yes, it was. It's
Yeah.
the best thing about that is that like I said, you're just in different circumstances all the time. So we played like banquets and other festivals and stuff like that too. So it was always kind of a different audience, and sometimes you have, the weddings where the people are up and they're super excited and
Mhm.
ready to drink and dance. And then
Right.
sometimes you get the wedding where everyone's staring at you. What do I do?
Yeah.
So, but you have to figure it out, right?
Right,
As
yeah.
the entertainer, you have to figure out a way to, make it fun for them. And that, it just made me more engaging. And, I learned so much from that. And there's nothing like being thrown into the fire
Right,
to
yeah,
figure
you
it
can
out, right?
really develop a good stage presence, I would think, and be able to get any crowd into the music once you've done that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I don't think I would be the performer that I am now if it wasn't for that experience. So I'm super lucky that I had that.
And you got a lot of ideas for a wedding, right? Like what you would do and what you would not do, I guess.
Especially what I would not do.
Okay.
More importantly, what I wouldn't do. Yeah. There's a lot.
A lot of weddings you've seen in your 8 to 9 years of in a
Oh
wedding band.
God. Yeah. I certainly know how to behave as a bride now too, after that experience.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't get into too many details.
Okay, good. Yeah, we'll
yes.
pause
We'll
that
move along.
discussion now. Avril Lavigne has been an influence very early on in your life. Why is that?
Oh my God.
What is it about Avril that just like
everything? No, honestly, my earliest memory, first off, of Avril Lavigne, I was in grade 4, and it was the last day of school. I remember this in grade school, and they played Complicated, her very first single, Complicated, on the school system there, because it was the last day. I don't know why, but I remember it, and I was like, "What is this song?" Like, it was so good. I loved it. It was amazing. And then, just coincidentally, I happened to come across her CD in the mall one time, and I was with my mom, and so I bought it, and I have every song memorized. Something about her resonated with me, even as a girl in grade 4. Like I just, growing up, I always felt different. I had a great upbringing. It wasn't anything like that. I just always felt like I was a tomboy, and like I was definitely not a girly girl. And I loved music, and I was very creative. It felt different than a lot of people my age at the time. And when she came out, I just totally identified with her, and everything about her just was exactly what I loved, So
yeah, she really gave a voice to the not the typical girly girl. Like she was kind of just a rocker.
She just like a pop rocker for sure.
Yeah.
And I think for pop music, she changed everything, because at the time it was like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, and that was fine. I listened to them all the time, but when Avril Lavigne came out, it was my two like perfect worlds kind of colliding, because I grew up with rock music from my dad, and I loved pop music, and I would write songs all the time when I was younger, but I didn't understand until she came out, and I was just like, dude, it was perfect. It was just like the perfect combination of everything. And she just completely changed my whole world from there. So,
have you had a chance to meet her yet? I can't remember if you said you have on your. Okay.
No.
All right.
Can you set that up?
Yeah, I'll get right on that. I'll make a couple of calls.
Let me know. Let me know if we can make that happen, because I'm waiting. Yeah, I don't know.
It can happen.
Hopefully someday.
Oh, nice. So that Q&A video you have on YouTube, really helpful, and I thought it was just a really cool idea. What prompted that? Like, I mean, you just fielded a lot of questions from some of your fans. How did you even get those questions? Where did the idea come from?
Yeah, for actually a few years now, I've had just random people just message me about stuff, or I'm very like active on Instagram and whatever. I post stuff that I like and whatever all the time, and I just get questions, constantly. So for a while, I was actually just kind of writing them down, and I said, one of these days I'm going to do like a Q&A video, because just that way I can actually answer all of these questions. And I would do like a smaller version of that on Instagram. Like, I would put up the little question box and answer them that way. But I thought it's so much more personal if it's coming from me, and I can elaborate a little more. So yeah, I don't know. I just kind of compiled all the questions that I had gotten over the last little while, and I put it up there, and I thought it was cool, because usually it's just like a short little response, and I thought it'd be, be cool. to just kind of
Right.
talk about stuff and go from there.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, it was really good. There was a lot of questions that were answered,
Thank
and a lot
you.
of material that I got already that I've mentioned. You know,
See that?
why do you drink water came from that video and your EPK on your website.
Yeah, there
Great
you go.
website too. I love the website.
Thanks.
You are out there in a lot of places. YouTube, Instagram. You've mentioned already. We were talking before the show that we connected on Clubhouse
Yeah.
a few months ago when one of the songs that we're going to play in a second when that came out, and that's how I first heard you. And it was great to hear you on Clubhouse. So I think we have a couple more people listening to the show tonight that are on Clubhouse. So yeah, it's a great way to meet artists and get connections in the industry. I love
Absolutely.
being on.
Yeah, me as well. I didn't even know about Clubhouse, to be honest, until, like I said, maybe the last few months, just because of quarantine. And I ended up just getting on there to connect with other people, and it was amazing. It was so awesome, just the connections and other artists that I've met on there. So I'm very happy I did it.
Okay. All right. Nice. I don't know if you can, if we can still hear each other. There was a little delay in the internet. So Christy is streaming in from Canada. And
Yeah.
funny, lightning just kind of lit up the studio here, and now there's some really good thunder. So let's hope that power doesn't get knocked out. That would be really exciting.
Oh no!
I
It'll
wonder
go
if that's
down in history.
right. Yeah,
What a
definitely
great
go down.
interview.
Don't want to remember that one though. Let's hope it stays on and the internet doesn't go crazy. So, Number One Girl, it's a great song. I think it's just another hit of yours. Like, I can see why this was a single, and I think this is going to do really well. And it was just on FM station in Canada. Which FM station was playing that there?
Yeah, it was 96.7.
Okay.
Mix 96.7.
Already getting radio play, so it's a great song, and it really resonated with a lot of your fans. I talked about that very kind of personal. What would you call that video? Testimonial video almost that you posted on YouTube,
Yeah.
and even you kind of really opened up about some feelings in it as well before you aired the 3 parts. What about that video? What gave you that idea for that kind of testimonial, or were those fans that sent this in, or how did you even compile some of those?
So, you know what? It's so funny because once this song came about, like once it was fully produced, I kind of knew right away what I wanted to do with it. And one of those things was, for the promotion of this single, I wanted to put together something called a Number One Girl guide, or something that would, sort of maybe give younger girls advice, or, even anyone, any women really that maybe need advice, just life advice or relationship advice, anything that might be useful to them, especially those who may not fully have the best self-worth, or just have a hard time with confidence, and I can identify with that when I was younger. And I thought, what an amazing thing to do if I'm able to sort of gather the most influential and strongest female artists in my life and have them, speak to their younger self, or, a younger girl who may need the advice. And that's sort of what it was. I kind of reached out to any artist that has influenced me, or that I thought, kind of shows the same sort of values that I have, that I maybe would want advice from, I don't know. So I kind of put it together as like a 3-part series, and it kind of fell into place that way. And I just absolutely love it though. I love everything about it. I love that it's all women, and that was really important to me for this song.
And it had, quite a few views on YouTube. I think it's been well received. Have you gotten any comments about it, kind of offline, about, thank you for this. This was really powerful for me. It really helped me in my life, or anything like that. Have you heard about it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, for those young girls out there who may have watched it, some of them, it's funny because I don't know that they even know that they're going through anything, that may be bad right now. I think that when you're older and you have perspective on life, and you're able to look back on your experiences, then you can go, okay, this advice would have been so helpful to me when I was that age. So I've had a lot of people say to me, it's just good that it's out there for anyone to watch, even if it is a young girl who might not even know like she's going through anything.
Right.
it's just such a good tool to have. And honestly, I wish that I would have had something like that too. So I'm just, yeah, it really hit home for me, and I'm happy that I did it.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you for being a positive influence in so many women's
Thank you.
lives. And hopefully somebody who is young now can hear this advice, and maybe if they're going through a difficult situation, avoid some of the mistakes that, you know, so many people make when they're young.
I hope so. And and I think my main goal with it was just to help build self-worth and self-love in these young girls. I think that was the main goal. So not to look at things and go, you're going to make all the wrong decisions, but, you know, just to say, like, you need to have respect for yourself. You need to love yourself first. And when you do that, it just makes everything else in your life better. When you're able to put yourself first, not a lot of people can hurt you that way, you know,
Right.
and not that you need to block people out, but it certainly is important.
Awesome. So let's hear the next song. One of the songs that I think it's probably your most popular single, most streamed, and it's definitely your most purchased on iTunes right now. So this is What Have You Done to Me? You want to go ahead and give a brief intro to it while I'm getting it queued up, and then we can talk more about it on the other side. All right.
Sure. Yeah. What Have You Done to Me? Was a super important song for me to write, I think. And it's fairly obvious when people hear it. It's pretty dark and moody, and it definitely reflected a time in my life that was not the greatest. And, you know, flash forward now, we have #1 girl, women empowerment. But yeah, it was definitely a huge contrast to my latest single. And it was just a dark time that I went through. So I needed to write it, and I more importantly, needed to release it in case anyone else was going through something similar that, you know, could relate to it. And a lot of cool stuff ended up happening from it. So,
Okay. All right. So let's play What Have You Done to Me?
We're a revolving door. Push me out, then I'm back for more. It feels so good, relying on you, knowing I never could. 'Cause you feed my disparity, feel this disease take over my body. You capture me, love my insecurities, my dependency. I can't get you off of me, and I'm in too deep. What have you done to me? You pull me close, and I can't say no. What have you done to me? What have you done? Ooh. Can't believe the monster you made me. I'm a liar for your love. Tell 'em I don't need you when I do. Take you in a shot just to get drunk. 'Cause you feed my disparity, fuel this disease, take over my body. You capture me, love my insecurities, my dependency. I can't get you off of me, and I'm in too deep. What have you done to me? You pull me close, and I can't say no. What have you done to me? I'm in control, so you get me alone. Loving you hurts so good. I'd give you up if I could. What have you done to me? What have you done? You push me down just to feel your hands on me. Just one touch, so no, I'll never leave. Only love me when you're in control. Why can't you let me go? What have you done to me? And it feels so good, relying on you, knowing I never could.
That song's so good.
Thank you so much.
And that was the
Thank
first
you.
one that I heard from you. Again, somehow I think you played a demo of it in Clubhouse, or you played the finished version. I don't know why, but that song, when I heard it right away, I was like, this is great. So congrats on that. And do you agree that that's probably your most streamed, most loved song?
I think it's hard. It's hard to say. I would say that it's definitely the most relatable one. I think a lot of interesting things came from this one, even just in people messaging me, some of my followers just saying that they went through something similar, and I think this one definitely had the most feedback for sure from people. So it's special. It's special to me. I think any artist knowing that your music has touched people or they're able to relate to it in some way, that's the goal. So.
So I guess if we can, how much you want to share about that song? It's
Sure.
clearly about a bad relationship, I think, and kind of a breakup that comes from that. How much details do you want to have? Do you want to tell about that relationship?
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm an open book. We're good. No, you know what? That song is super, super personal to me. And it was about somebody who was sort of in my life for a long time, even outside of the relationship. It's just about this person that just kind of lingers, in your life, and you just feel like you can't get away from them no matter how hard you try, and they just sort of have this power over you that you wish they didn't have. And that's really where the song came from, what it was inspired by anyways. And I feel like the video explains it all. But
the video is
Yeah.
good. It's on your YouTube channel. Everybody, after the show, go to Christy's YouTube channel and watch that video. It's good.
Thank you so much.
And
I appreciate it.
that was used as sync. I think that's the the buzzword in the industry for Temptation Island. How did that come about? Like, how did you get that opportunity to have that on there?
Yeah, and those are not always the easiest opportunities,
Those
for
are
sure,
really hard
especially
to
as independent artists. And you know what? One thing I've learned is it's all about the connections, and I had a friend of mine in Windsor who was he was signed to this company in the States, actually, which was so cool. They're called Atrium. And they're a sync company, and him and I were just chatting, and I showed him this song when it was finished before I had even released it. And he's like, Christy, like we got to submit this, because he's like, I feel like it's too strong to not get placed. He's like, I feel like someone will pick it up. And so I was like, you know what? Sure. Why not? So we actually submitted it together, and yeah, funnily enough, like the song, we had submitted it probably in the summer before, and I had released this in January.
Okay.
So it was a few months before I had heard anything, and at that point I really didn't hear anything. So I thought, okay, it won't get placed, and that's fine. You just you move on like everything else. And I ended up hearing shortly after the song was released that it got placed on Temptation Island, and I just freaked out, because that's a huge highlight for me anyway. So
that's huge at all, like to get on there. Are they
yeah.
going to use it for just that season, or will it be a recurring song? Because I think it fits really well with kind of the whole premise of Temptation Island right there.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I appreciate it. Yeah, you know what? I'm not certain. I know that it was for that song, it was just for that one episode, but there is potential for it to come back if they feel that it fits. So that's the good thing about it. Once your foot's in the door, then the song is always there, so it can be used really whenever.
Okay.
But yeah, it was really awesome though, the section of the episode that they used it in, which is, I was kind of hoping they would use it for that, but there's really no guarantee, and they don't really tell you, right? So yeah, it was kind of cool.
Did writing that song help you deal and kind of come to terms with that relationship?
Absolutely. Okay. I think, and I feel like most artists have to do that. Like, if you're a songwriter, I just feel like the things that impact you the most, you write about them. It's just common knowledge, you know, it just happens. And I've had so many songs that I wrote about this person, but I think this one was the most important for me because I think I finally hit a point where I was like, you have too much power over me, and like I don't know what to do anymore, you know. And anyone that knows me, they, you know, I'm sort of known as a more outgoing, bubbly person, and I am very strong, and I'm proud of that. But with this person in particular, it's just, I feel like everything was just different. And yeah, this song for me was just coming to terms with the fact that, you know what, maybe in this situation, you actually need help. You need to get away from this person because you're not as strong as you think. And it's been going on way too long. And I think this was my closure, you know? Right.
So it's funny you said a lot of your songs were kind of about that. There are several of your songs that seem to talk about a breakup. So those breakup songs, are they kind of all talking about the same
open,
relationship?
Worms everywhere.
Right. Okay. There they go.
Did you get that? It was a Friends reference.
Yeah.
Anyways. There's a few, and I would actually say that songs that have yet to be released, I actually have more that are written as, like I said, closure pieces. I feel like What Have You Done to Me was sort of the starting of, you know, the closure. And I have a lot of songs that are about that. But yes, previously there's others. I don't know if I want to name them.
No, you'll just leave them there.
You can know that they'll listen to them and figure it out.
So. As everybody goes back and listens to your catalog on Spotify, they will they'll figure that out.
I'm sure.
Okay, so let's play another song. Another great song,
sure.
Danger, which we're gonna. There's a lot to talk about on the other side of this one too,
yes.
And that was a good transition into this song. So set it up really quick, Perfect. And then we'll talk more about on the other side.
Yeah. Again, about a relationship.
That's weird. I wonder which one.
Yeah, I know. I'm confused now. I don't know. So blindsided. Yeah, you know what? This again, I feel like it's very clean cut. This one, I feel like you get it. You know, just being in a relationship or a situation where you know it's going to end badly. You just know it. You knew it from the first day that it started, and it just continued on, and you let it happen, knowing all along that it was going to end badly for you, and it was dangerous for your heart, you know, and your well-being, and you kind of do it anyway. So that's what this is about.
Well, here is Danger by Christy Palace.
Looking out at the highway, you were driving too fast. You told me you like it that way, and kept your foot on the gas. Full speed ahead, boy, driving us right till the end. Ignoring every sign, you like control, and you'll never let it go. You had my heart screaming, danger, danger, right on time with a stranger, holding your hand on the passenger side, holding my breath and closing my eyes. Oh, screaming, danger, danger, danger. Looking over at me, you'd say we're gonna be fine. Kiss me till my fears went away. I trusted you with my life, let my guard down. For my secrets are yours, ain't your pride that I gave in. You lost control, so you had to let me go. You had my heart screaming, danger, danger, right on time with a stranger, holding your hand on the passenger side, holding my breath and closing my eyes. Oh, screaming, danger, danger, danger. All those late nights in your car, knew we wouldn't get far. Too many signs, running red lights under the radar. Another girl in my seat, another version of me. And I know you lose control and you're gonna let her go. You have my heart screaming, danger, right on top with a stranger, holding your hand on the passenger side, holding my breath and closing my eyes. Oh, screaming, danger, you have my heart screaming. And I know you lose control and danger.
All right, that's another great song. I know I said before that "What Have You Done to Me" is probably my favorite, but man, that one's a bop too. I love that song, and I think I actually like the video for that song. Can I say more than the other? I'll say as much.
Sure.
How's that sound? I
You
don't
can say
want to-
whatever you like.
The
That's
video for that is really, really great. And
Thank
so you
you.
say at the beginning, I have so much I want to talk about with the video. You said at the beginning that you shot it in isolation. So it was shot recently, right?
Yes.
During COVID.
Yeah.
You travel in the video. How did you do that in Canada in isolation? Because they've been really strict there. I hope nobody in Canada is listening right now. Will they send the fines like
I didn't go
retroactively?
I didn't go outside of Canada, so we were fine. We
All right.
yeah, no, we followed all the rules. So
Okay.
my luckily for me, I'm super fortunate with my situation because I live with my boyfriend who is my videographer and photographer. He does all of that creative stuff with me. So we were following the rules at the time because you weren't able to be with anybody outside of your own household, and him and I lived together, so we were still able to create. And I'm so grateful because again, if I wasn't with him, I don't know that I would have been able to create anything during that time, you know.
Mhm.
But we stayed in Canada. We were staying in the same area that we were. We were just kind of driving around the streets of Ajax, Ontario. And that's what we did. We found a really cool location, and the weather was absolutely perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Like I wanted it to kind of look gloomy and cloudy, and not sunny, but not rainy either. It worked out so well. It was perfect.
Was that all shot in one day too?
It wasn't. Everything. Okay, so once you watch the video, anything outside was shot all the same day. There's only one scene at the beginning in the parking garage, and that was shot on a different day. But everything else was shot the same day. So it was a long day of shooting.
And the ending, when people watch it, stick to the end. Don't give up. Like wait till the very last second, because that got me. That was the best part of it.
It's really long. It's kind of like a short film, and I sort of wanted it to be like that. I wanted it to be really long with a big dramatic intro. Like I wanted all of that, and yeah, it's definitely worth the wait. So
yeah, it really is. And I said this earlier. I want to talk about this, but I also don't want to spoil the video for people too much. You do a stunt in it, and my question to you when we started was, do you do your own stunts? Because that looked like it hurt. If that was you, I don't know how you don't have a broken arm or worse. So
my God.
I don't even know, how can we talk about that? Maybe we can't without spoiling it, because I think you really gotta. I mean,
it's
who else did
totally
that?
up to you.
All right, so.
We'll save it.
I'm going to spoil a little bit.
Sure.
There's a car involved, and you exit the car while it's moving. Now,
Subtle.
was that you, or are there lookalikes out there of you?
No, it was me. I don't.
Okay.
It was all me.
Wow.
And without giving it away, I will just say a lot of it was the editing of it. So it's not as it seems. but I did all of it. And maybe something that the listeners can do once they watch the music video,
Mhm.
I do reveal my secrets
Mhm.
in another video on my
Right.
YouTube where I show
outtakes or
everything
whatever.
and
Yeah.
all the behind the scenes stuff,
Okay.
so you can see exactly how I did everything, and it was painful. It wasn't an easy thing,
Okay.
but it was
I
really
did not
fun.
watch that video. I saw it, but I didn't watch the outtake video. I kind of wanted to talk about
It's
the
gonna
video.
ruin it for you.
Maybe I won't watch it because I just want to believe.
Yeah, you're
that was
invested in
you
it now,
in the
so
actual scene. Yeah.
careful.
I
I'm
have
gonna
to.
crush your dreams.
So really great job on that
Thank
video,
you.
and great job. I guess kudos to your boyfriend for shooting that, editing it, putting it all together, and not just that video, but all of your videos. He has a role in recording.
Yeah, so actually, I should clarify. The first video him and I did together was the Danger music video. So everything before that, I actually
Okay.
had a different videographer, but my boyfriend and I started from Danger, and I released a few singles since then, and he's done all the video work and everything from there.
Okay.
So. But I will say this, all those videos, since he's been involved, they've been my favorite ones. So I feel like they've turned out the greatest. So I'm very lucky for sure.
Yeah. Well, great job on that video, and great job to him. It's good that you had him around in isolation. Because
That's
otherwise he wouldn't
right.
be able to do that.
Yeah. What would I do?
Right. So we have about 10 minutes before the top of the hour, and we get into the playlist. Let's see. I really want to ask this question. I mean, we've danced around it. We've talked a little bit about it, but if you had to put it really kind of clearly, what is the role of music in your life? It's been there from the beginning. How important is it for who you are? What role does it play in your life? What importance does music have for you?
I mean, I don't know that I would classify it as a role. I would say music is my life, because in every aspect of everything that I do, it comes back to music, or music is involved, or I turn to music. It's not really anything that I think of as like an extracurricular or something that I get to do. It's just kind of, it's who I am. It's part of me, and it's strange, especially because I grew up in a music family. It just seems it's always been normal. I always thought growing up, like, yeah, this is just what people do. And I honestly, as I grew up, I realized like how special it actually is. And it's just normal to me. It's not anything that I feel is special, which, maybe I take it for granted a little bit, the fact that I've always had it, but it's everything to me. I can't imagine my life without it. I know it sounds cliche, but I really can't. I don't know. Everything that I do is music related, in some capacity. So I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
It just kind of is who you are, it seems like. And I mean, when it's been around from the beginning of your life, and it's just a way of growing up. I think I can imagine it'd be hard to separate music from who you are as a person in some ways.
100%. And I feel like that's the right answer, to that question. I think for me, it's really not, it's not a role. Like it just is, and it always has been, and it always will be, kind of thing, it's very strange, but also very special.
But did you think about doing something else at some point? I mean, when you went to college to get your degree, what's your degree in?
Of course. So I actually went to university, and so I'll give you a little backstory really quickly. My entire family, like I said, is musical, but they also are all teachers. So my aunts and uncles are all musical, and they are either teachers or a teacher in some capacity, even if it's just a music teacher. But that's what I was going to do. So I went off to university after high school, and I got my degree in drama and education. And I, was using that degree towards going to teachers college and becoming a teacher, which is not what I wanted to do. I just thought that's what you do. You do music on the side, and then you become a teacher. That's what I thought, because my whole family did that. But, again, it was a series of opportunities that I had that just changed that mindset for me. And I never went back since. I got my degree to say I did it. And then I went full speed ahead. So that's how it happened.
will you help your father at all with the school that he has? Do you help?
So I actually do help. So since I was probably 17, I had been teaching for my dad. So I taught piano and vocal lessons, and I actually still do that sometimes on the side. So on the weekends, I just virtually though, because I am in Toronto, I teach some of my old students, and I've kind of kept them, which is, again, that's so special to me to just kind of keep that conservatory close to me still. And so it's pretty cool.
Wow, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the wellness playlist that you suggested, but I want to make sure I have enough time to do that. We're not rushed, so we'll do that on the other side of 7. If you can stick around for just a little bit longer, before we start. Okay.
Of course.
And so before we get into that, how can people find you, follow you? What's coming up in the future with you? All of that stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, I am everywhere. So
you are a lot of places, which is great.
I don't even know how to answer that question anymore. Any social platform, I'm on it. At Christy Palace, just at my name. And if you want, you could go to my website, christypalace.com. I have everything attached to my site as well. So, but I really am everywhere. So you'll probably find me. Type me in, you'll find me somewhere that you'll be on, I would assume. And
it's Christy with 2 E's, so it's CHRISTEE.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure Google will correct you.
Right. Yeah. No, it's really easty to find everything, on,
just
on
in
Google.
case.
So, and your website is really great. I love your logo. You talked about that in your YouTube. Your YouTube channel has got tons of stuff on there, so everybody check that out. What's coming up in the future for you?
I have lots of plans for new music, and I know you guys are all open now, but
we're living the life.
Ontario is getting there, and we are on our way to opening and getting back to live music. So I am very much looking forward to that. I'm hoping probably within the next couple months we'll be back to somewhat normal, and I'll be able to play again. And so, I'm looking forward to that, and that will definitely be a highlight. So that's coming up as well, plus a lot of new music. So
right. So you have a lot
excited.
of stuff that you've written in the past that's not released, but and you're continually writing new stuff, I would assume.
Right. Yeah, you got it.
A lot of singles, I think, recently. Is there another big album or an EP coming up?
You know what? I think in the future for sure. I think right now is the best time for singles, especially given the state of the world, or the state of Ontario, I should say, because the rest of the world's moving on. But I think for now, singles is the way to go for me, and I'm perfectly content doing that. I like just kind of giving little snippets of my experiences and the things that I've kind of been going through, but I definitely see a potential album on the horizon, so stay tuned.
Okay. Well, good. All right, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think there's a lot of, you do a lot of stuff on Instagram, so that's a really great place for people to find you. I love Instagram personally, but I don't know. I guess I'm just biased to that. I like that platform better than some of the others. And then I've already said Clubhouse a couple of times. If anybody listening, musicians are on Clubhouse, Christy's on there as well. So they can find you, and I really hope they do. And if everybody listening, if they love Christy, which I'm sure you do, I don't know how you can't. If you want to show her a little bit more support, definitely follow me on Instagram. There's a link in my bio for the tip jar for the artists, and whatever money is in that tip jar at the end of the week goes to Christy. So I hope it's just, who knows what's going to be there, but I hope it's just a little thing just to say, hey, we appreciate you. You're doing great music. Keep it up. And definitely stream and buy music from you as well.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that a lot.
So thank you for coming on the show, but we're not done. I do want to make sure we talk about this wellness theme, fitness in your life, because that's another thing that you post on Instagram. I've gotten some good tips from you actually working out.
Amazing.
So we'll come back and talk about that after the 7 o'clock, the top of the 7 o'clock hour. So I'm going to go quiet for a couple of minutes, actually just 2 minutes, and then after the station identification, I will be back with Christy to talk about some music and some of her favorite wellness songs. All right, hang tight. All right, and we are back with Christy Palace. To wrap up the interview, thanks for sticking with us. Christy,
Sure.
fitness is a huge part of your life, just like music. Has it always been like that, or did that come about fairly recently, and why? Why did fitness become a part of who you are as well?
You know what? Health and fitness has just as much as music has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. And I can thank my parents for that. Not that they were, crazy bodybuilders or anything, but they certainly took care of themselves and they worked out regularly, exercised, and they eat very well. And so that's sort of been instilled in me since I was very young. And my one brother is he's a trainer for hockey players, and he's a huge guy. I'll show you him another time. But he's amazing. And I've learned so many amazing things from him as well. But I've definitely found that probably the last 10 years or so, I've really taken it seriously, and I've, been working out almost every day and, really watching what I eat. And I find that there's a huge correlation between mental and physical health for sure. And not only that, as an artist, as a singer, especially when I was back in the wedding band days, I would play sometimes 3 nights in the weekend in a row. And I would go like that for months at a time. And it was it was stressful on your body as much as it was on your voice. And I find that when you take really good care of yourself, it helps your endurance and overall for you to feel a lot better. And same thing with your mental health. When you take care of your body, your mind feels good as well. And that's super important to me.
Yeah, it's kind of a conversation that I've heard other musicians talk about. It seems unimaginable that, back in like the 70s, 80s, probably 60s, for a long time, there was a period where, musicians, drinking and drugs were a big part of also being on the road. I can't imagine for these big artists, like just partying every night after a show when you're on the road for so long and getting up and being able to play, a couple hour show. The toll that would take on your body and then mentally as well. That's rough.
I can't even imagine, honestly. I mean, for me specifically, I'm clean. I don't use at all. And there's nothing wrong with people that do. Like, if that's what you like, that's what you want to do, that's fine. To each their own. For me, I've never felt the need to. I've never had the desire to, and I also don't like feeling like I'm not in control of myself and or my voice, really. So I've never felt the need to do that. And I feel like when you do take really good care of yourself and your body, and you know what it feels like to feel good after like taking care of yourself, I can't see you ever wanting to feel any other way, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a feeling that once you feel it, why would you go back? I feel like you should want to take care of yourself, you know?
Yeah.
But it's my opinion.
Yeah. And I think you're right. I think it would help be able to perform for a long time. Like, it just breaks down your body otherwise. But some of these, big artists from the past were able to tour for years. I don't know how they did it. So
yeah. And I mean, there's still artists today that kind of do that, and it's, again, to each their own. I have nothing against them for that. It's just for me, I have no desire to. I just don't. I can't. I can't see how you could ever have full control over yourself or really, experience what you're doing. I don't know. To me, I don't like it. For me.
So on Instagram, you post a lot of workout videos. And even some tips too. And I think on YouTube you had a workout tips video as well. I love how you just kind of mix the two together kind of seamlessly. So great job. And in our brief live on Instagram, I said that you were a bad chick. And I threw another adjective in there as well. I really think you are. You kick butt when you work out. So what are your favorite wellness songs when you're, in this mode, mental and physical, I guess? Do you see a distinction, or do you try to find songs that kind of do both?
You know what? For me, it's a little different. Like I said, there's a correlation between the two, but I find when I'm working out, I love hearing like really pump up songs that make me feel good. And an example of that would be there's a song called Love Myself by Haley Steinfeld. Even just the beat, it's just like you just want to fist pump while you're working out. So there's that, and there's actually one song I think it's called Discipline Equals Freedom. And it's actually like this, it's like a voiceover track. It's very interesting. And I recommend it to anyone who maybe is just kind of starting out to work out. And throughout the entire track, it's just this guy on there just motivating you, just talking to you. Like, if you, want it, you got to earn it, and like all this stuff. So not really a song, I guess, but it is kind of. I have it in my workout playlist, so that's super important to me. But on the other side of that, not even just for working out, just for days where I feel like I need support for my mental health, that's just as important for me. There's a lot of songs for that. I've shared a few of them with you. One of them is called It Was In Me by Avril Lavigne. I love Avril, so all her songs are amazing. But that one in particular, just the whole message of it, I feel like we're constantly searching for the inspiration, to get through those hard things in life. And when really you're going to find it within yourself. And that song really helps me, on days where I don't feel like I have the strength to do that. And there's another one I love by a Canadian artist. She goes by the name Lights, and she has a song that she wrote called Down Forever. And it's very similar to that one. Like, you're not going to stay down forever. Like, eventually you will get back up, things will get better, and you will continue on as you always have. And I love that song too. There's so many. I could be here for 3 hours because I love music. There's so many, but those artists in particular, they're my favorite, two of my favorite artists. So those songs I love.
And what I really like about the playlist this week that I'm going to play some songs from in a second is that it kind of matches your personality. A lot of people sent in kind of songs like breakup songs or getting over a relationship, or like kind of empowerment songs, a lot like the ones that you write that I'm going to play in a little bit. like It Ain't Me from Selena Gomez. That mashup that she does.
That's
and
a good one,
Yeah, there's
too.
been a couple. And Avril Lavigne, I had some of those. Andrea Day, Rise Up. That's going to be on the playlist later. So
Yeah.
there were a lot of those. And then
Good ones.
I added some of my favorite workout ones that were also kind of
Amazing.
rising up. Shine Down, it's a little bit heavier. So there's going to be a heavy part of this playlist.
Oh no, I love the heavy stuff. Bring it on.
So it's going to be Fly from the Inside, and then a band, Our Last Night. I've probably mentioned them every other show, but I discovered them a little bit ago because they did a cover of a rap song that they put on Instagram, but they've been around for like 17 years. I just hadn't heard them before that. So they do
That's
a song
so
called
cool.
The Leap, which it's heavy, but it's really about kind of taking that leap and going for it and getting, you need to take the step. So
Love
go
it.
and do it. So
Love it.
those two songs I have on my workout playlist, because my workout playlist is a lot of 90s 2000 metal and rock. So
It's all good. Listen, I went through that phase. I still do. I still have I have a throwback playlist where I include some of those 90s rock tunes, and I love rock music. So
awesome.
all good.
Good. Well, it really has been a pleasure having you on the show, getting to meet you, talk to you, answer some questions about the videos that I've had. So really, thank you for coming on. I wish you all the success, but I know I don't need to. You're going to be successful. You have already, and I can't imagine you not continuing that success even more. So congratulations on what's happened, and I'll definitely be following you and looking for all the new music and stuff you have out there. So, and maybe if I can make it to Canada someday, maybe I'll come.
Yeah,
perform. Yeah.
Yeah, if we're open. Careful. We might not be open yet.
I don't know if we'll ever
Let me
go
know.
across the border.
Let me know what you. I don't think the border's going to open anytime soon. No, I hope that's not the case. But no, I all that aside, I really do appreciate you having me on here, and I love the idea of the artists coming up with a theme and creating playlists. It's so incredible, and what a great way to just kind of go back into the archives and finding your favorite songs of things that inspire you. It's amazing. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you again. So everybody, that's Christy Palace. Please go find her on some sort of social media, on the web. Find her website. Find her on Spotify, iTunes, just everywhere. Please follow her. Thank you again, Christy. And we're going to jump into some music. All right. Bye, Christy.
Bye.